All right, now let's tee up some bold topics to wrap up week 1 in the NFL. Man, I woke up on Sunday and it was electric.
Yeah.
There's something about football being back, just knowing you got the entire day to just watch grown men wrestle with a pigskin. You know what I'm saying? Just, damn, that shit was fun. Starting off with both our games, this is how we do bold topics. Jason tees up questions and topics about my game, and I tee up questions and topics about Jason's game.
Hey-o. We're going to get to it right away. Trav, Lions 21, Chiefs 20.
Yeah.
Home opener ends with a little disappointment at Arrowhead. Let's start off with the biggest news from this week with the Chiefs. Chris Jones and the Chiefs have agreed to a contract agreement or extension.
I get my friend back in the building, man. Get my dog back, man.
Dude, that's got to feel good.
Freaking, it's baby Shaq, man. You just miss that guy's aura when he's not around. You know what I mean?
That had to uplift the building just instantly. Like, obviously, last week doesn't pan out the way the Chiefs are hoping. Mood, as usual, little down, little bit upset, didn't take care of business, didn't capitalize on opportunities.
Yeah.
That's a pick-me-up if I've ever heard one. Chris Jones, one of the best defensive tackles in the game, coming back in the building. He agrees to a 1-year agreement per Adam Schefter with the Chiefs. No new years were added to the contract, but he receives multiple incentives to earn considerably more money this season per sources. Can we take credit for this? Do you think you pleading for him to return played a factor?
No, I don't think I had absolutely nothing to do with this shit.
Clearly I didn't, because I was hoping he was going to hold out till after we played him, but that didn't pan out.
Yeah, I mean, all I heard is that we got Chris Jones back for a year, and hopefully they can, figure something out after this season to keep him here, as long as I'm here. You know what I mean? Other than that, it was a tough one, man.
I'm sure Spags is jumping for joy right now. That's got to be a good addition for the defense. Although, I will say, if we're going to get to the game, defense played pretty good.
Defense played really good.
They gave up 14 points against an offense that was one of the best in the NFL last year. We'll get to that. Let's get to first. Do we have an injury update from Travis Kelce?
Things are looking up. I feel a lot better than I did last week. Felt like an absolute asshole not being able to play in that first game.
Why?
It just felt like, a non-contact injury. I feel like it was the karma from this show, to be honest, making fun of Kevin Hart and Kylie for being too old and trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing because they're old.
I didn't even think about that.
I felt the karma from it, not going to lie. So never making fun of anybody,
So you think because we made fun of Kevin Hart and Kylie.
I was literally running a route and put my foot in the ground and hyperextended my knee. So
we're back to blaming Kylie.
Yeah, nope. It's Kylie's fault.
Kylie, it's her fault for me not having jeans at my premiere, and Kylie, your fault for Travis not planting properly and messing his knee up.
Yeah, for being too old and planting improperly. Thinking I still got it. Fuck, I'm such an idiot. No, seriously though, it was I did feel like an asshole for not being able to be out there week 1. I mean, I know you got to be very fortunate to play this game. I take a lot of this to heart, being able to be out there every single week. Kind of, you're talking about the toughness rating on Madden. I love to put that on my shoulders, on my resume, that I make myself available every single week. And the last practice going into the first game, I got a little lazy on some of my movement, and sure enough, offed myself and couldn't play in the first game.
Did you do the wall drills?
No, I didn't. I should have done the wall drills. I would have fucking.
It would have got your glutes activated.
It would have got the entire posterior.
Can't forget the wall drills.
Not fun dealing with an injury, especially that late in the week, because then you, for 72 hours straight, are just worried about one single thing. Everybody's asking you about it. Everybody's in your ear about it. Everybody's just trying to figure out, what's the best scenario. It's not like the organization was banking on me being back, but everybody in the organization is asking me how I'm doing, so that, we can go out there with the right game plan, the right mentality. It's just not fun. Just not a lot of sleep. And a lot of focus on a knee that wasn't getting better fast enough. So a lot better than last week. And it doesn't help when your brother is on national television telling everybody that
What are you talking about?
You're going to play.
I didn't. Was I talking out loud? Was I talking out loud? I didn't know I did that.
I will say this, though. Everybody that heard you say that, both the medical team here in Kansas City
I can only imagine what Rick Burkholder's
and all the
response
players that heard you tell that story about how you hyperextended your knee.
trying to kick a piece of firewood in half.
Man, that's some good shit. God, you're a Kelce if I've ever fucking known one. I thought it was funny. And you called me a bitch, but it's whatever.
No, I did not.
Okay.
We can put the toughness thing to rest. It's the first game you've missed since 2013. How many, I mean, I don't think that anybody in the world is questioning anything with Travis Kelce right now. Who was more accurate, me or Jay Glazer, though?
Yeah, Jay Glazer came out talking about 45 cc's.
How does everybody have so much information on your knees?
I don't know, man. We got somebody leaking information. We got somebody leaking information.
Well, you leaked the information to me.
Yeah. Jay Glazer's information was oddly very on point, which was interesting because we usually got to know, you don't talk about injuries or leak information about injuries, but he was saying medical terms that I was like, I only heard that from the doctor. How did this information get out? Which I'm not really upset about because it was all pretty much true. And I did run yesterday, and it feels like I might be able to play this week. We'll see how practice goes, man.
Well, do we want to talk about the process of deciding to play or not, or you want to get into that or no?
Man, it's a depressing process if you don't play. I'll tell you what, man.
You hyperextended your knee Tuesday, and
Tuesday,
you guys played Thursday.
So 2 days before the game, you immediately, go through everything to make sure that there's nothing, season ending through the MRIs and the X-rays and stuff like that. And you just get diagnosed. And then on top of that, it immediately started swelling. And that's the one thing with the knees or any joint that you have. If you start swelling, muscles are starting to turn off. It's like the body's reaction and kind of safety mechanism. It just shuts off muscles. And so you're going through, the process of trying to communicate with the team as much as possible on where your knee is. Obviously being optimistic, or is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Being optimistic about playing on Thursday. I was giving them as much information as I possibly could. It comes to a point where, you want to be out there, but are you going to be the best player you can for the team? And is it the best option for the team for you to be out there? We got a bunch of great tight ends. I think Noah Gray did a great freaking job. I think Blake Bell did a great job. Shout out to Blake getting in the end zone. All right, to Bulldozer. So I knew that and on top of that, we had Matt Bushman come up from the practice squad and fill in for the third tight end role.
God damn, that is a tight end name if I've ever heard one.
Matty Bushman. Storm Mormon, baby. BYU product right there. Shout out to the Cougs.
There ain't nothing else that guy's playing. I mean, maybe he could be an offensive tackle, but that's a tight end name.
You're right. Everything kind of going forward, it just couldn't get the swelling down, which, like we were mentioning right there, just that shuts off muscles, and that's where you really start to put yourself in even more of a risky position to go out there and maybe hurt it worse or injure yourself worse because the muscles aren't firing, things like that. They're swelling in there, so it's a little bit easier for the knee to move around. It just, I think I'm getting into it too much, but at the end of the day, you go through basically 72 hours of waking up, icing it, treatment, working out, trying to get muscles firing to, just doing that over and over and over again, all while trying to communicate to the team who's looking at you like, can you go? Can you not go? And it's not a fun process to be in, but obviously you have to be as truthful and as honest as you possibly can. And when it came down to me not being able to go, that wasn't an easy conversation to have with Coach Reed or Rick Burkholder or my guy, David Glover in the facility, trying to do everything he can to get me back out there. It was just, not a fun time, but we're at where we are now, and hopefully that all is behind us, man.
I'm hoping you're back out there this week.
Yeah.
Like everybody is. When you're on the sideline and the team's out there, what is it like watching the game, especially when it's like things just aren't clicking? Or
Well, the biggest thing I feel like I could bring was just being a high energy, keeping the mindset, keeping the focus, keeping the good vibes on the sideline. That's really all you could do as a leader when you can't play is try and keep the guys rallied, try and keep the guys focused, try and keep the guys fired up, if things start to kind of go astray. But for the most part, we got enough dogs in that locker room and on that field to, make it all shake. And I think last week was an absolute fluke of a game. There's no way the talent that we have across the board offensively that we have that many drops ever again. I know the accountability and the type of character that we have in the building, and I know that those guys are going to make sure that they get that right. That being said, I thought there was a lot that we could take from that game, some good. But at the same time, we still do have a young team, or at least a team that hasn't quite meshed together with live bullets being thrown around. And that was a good learning experience, man. And that's the one thing about week one, man. Don't get caught up on week one football across the board, whether you go out and you blow a team out or you come out, kind of shaky and just don't get off on the right start. There is plenty of football to be played, and plenty of lessons and plenty of teaching that can go along throughout the course of the season. And I know Andy Reid's teams have always progressively gotten better throughout the season. I've felt it, and I know we got a plan in place to keep that going. So, don't get caught up on week one, man. That ain't always what the truth is.
Yeah, I mean, and watching the game, I mean, you guys are right there the entire time. You had every opportunity to win.
We'll let that happen again. That's what I mean by fluke. I got all the respect for the Detroit Lions. I'm not sitting here saying they didn't win the game outright, which they did. They had a better Thursday night than we did. So shout out Dan Campbell and the Lions over there, man. Got a lot of respect for those guys. When
you see Noah Gray, we saw on the sideline how pumped up you are when he had his 25-yard catch there towards, was at the end of the half? Does that sound right? Third quarter. Dang. Are you more excited now when you see somebody that you have mentored or been a part of since he got into the league making a big play like that? Because it looked like you're pretty dang pumped up.
I just love it when the good guys, the guys that you see work for it, the guys that you see, put in the time, put in the effort, put in the focus, get to go out there and benefit from all of what they've done, and to lead up to that point. I love seeing guys like that go out there and just shine, and that's what Noah Gray does every single week, man. I just saw him today, one of the only guys in the building, sweating his tail off, catching jugs and just being an accountable teammate, being an accountable player in this building. I joke about it all the time. This guy can't do anything wrong, man. He is like the most professional human being I've ever met. And he does so much for this team and this offense, both being on special teams and on the offense, that, you can't necessarily put a number on that. The guy just gives everything he can just to be the best teammate he is. So, and that stands true with Blake Bell and everybody else in the tight end room, man. It's fun seeing those guys go out and ball, especially when, you're in the same room with them every single week. You see how hard guys are working, the attention to detail, and then just go out there and play free and ball out, man.
No doubt.
That's what you get fired up for.
Well, it was an exciting game, man. I know it didn't end the way the Chiefs wanted it. Chiefs Kingdom upset, I'm sure, but I stayed up and watched the whole dang thing because it was a good freaking game. A lot of defense. For two teams that had two of the highest powered offenses in the NFL last year, you guys in Detroit, especially the way they ended the season, I was expecting a lot more offense on both sides, and both defenses showed up and were flying around. You guys, your whole secondary was all over the place. Justin Reed, Nick Bolton, all these guys all over the field. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Detroit Lions just signed him, a former teammate. A lot of good defense being played on that game. Now we got to get to the news that everybody wants to know. You said you were keeping the stash until you guys lose. Does that mean the stash is coming off, or does it not count because you weren't out there?
Newsflash, guys, I'm a liar. I love to lie to you all. And I'm keeping the fucking stash. Stash is staying. Not sure if I'll keep it all year. I might get sick of it and just get rid of it one week. I'm not putting any parameters on this thing, but I know I do want to go out there and feel the power of the stash.
So you want to go out there and suit it up with the stash?
On the field. I just want to see what El Travidor has to give. See what kind of superpowers I get rocking this fucking thing. We'll see if it lasts all year long, but it's definitely staying for week 2, baby.
I don't know if everybody else is happy to hear that, but I am, because it's kind of growing on me.
All right now. Moving on to Eagles versus Patriots. You guys went in and ruined Tom Brady Day. Eagles 25, Patriots 20 by the hair on your chinny chin chin. Not your hair because you got a lot. Maybe mine right there. That's how much you guys won by right there. First of all, Jason, you just had to ruin Tom Brady Day, didn't you? Can't let Tom Brady have one fucking day.
I highly doubt Tom Brady was ruined at all that day. He probably, while the game was going on, he probably wasn't even watching. He was just looking up at those 6 banners hanging in the rafters.
Touche. He probably didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't think he got ruined on that day.
Yeah, no. You, were you guys out there for the ceremony?
Honestly, I did not pay attention. I think that we were out there for part of it or some of it, but
you wanted to witness and feel that for yourself when you retire?
No, I think I was focused on what we were trying to run in the first 15 plays. And I don't know. I don't really recall, to be honest with you, if I'm being.
Well, winning close games, man. Any first thoughts on the game? Just quick takeaways?
Yeah, well, obviously, really sloppy game for us offensively. You know, got out to a good start in the first quarter, but a lot of that was largely thanks to our defense. Came up with huge turnovers for us, gave us good ball position. Bill's been doing it for a long time, and they have good players on that defense, especially the front seven. They do a lot of unique things. They get to a lot of different looks. And it's always, we talked about this a little bit with Julian Edelman when he came on the podcast, but it's always going to be game plan specific. So you can go into it with the plan of what's about to happen, but you got to realize that it's always going to be a little new wrinkle here and there. And he showed some new things. We saw a lot of things that we should have been prepared for. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, the players, myself included, didn't execute at the level we need to. We didn't communicate at the level we need to. Again, that's on my plate. I think that we all just, you know, didn't quite, we just didn't get it going, and we didn't adjust well in the middle of the game. And, you know, obviously a lot of credit to the Patriots defense. I mean, you know, they did some really, really good things. They did some things that threw us off. You know, now we get to look at the tape, make improvements, and you know, find a way to make sure that those things don't stop us the next time.
Well, you guys jumped out to an early 16-0 lead. It looked like you guys were about to walk them right out of the rain.
Yeah, it was quick.
Is there when they started coming back? I mean, it's a close game. You guys finished with the dub. Is there anything like? Is there a such thing as an ugly win?
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure.
No,
that was an ugly win.
No, there isn't.
You don't think there's an ugly win?
No, the wins in the NFL are all beautiful. You know what I mean? You can't.
I mean, listen,
you know,
I'm definitely
you can't
always
get the
happy
fuck out
with
of here.
the win, but there's definitely ugly
There's
wins.
nothing ugly about a win.
Did you watch the game? It was pretty ugly.
There's some ugly losses. All right, I've had some terribly ugly losses.
Well, every loss is ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Every win's beautiful. Sirianni said in his press conference he's going to reevaluate having players or starters play in the preseason, which he's kind of like, it's kind of like been like a tier system. Like over the past couple of years, he's kind of just like slowly taken the starters out of the preseason, right?
Yeah, so we played in his first year in Philly when Jalen was first starting, really. I mean, he started towards the last few games with Doug, but his first year really coming into the year starting, we played in one of those preseason games, I think. And then this past year, none. We started one of the games last year, too, against the Jets because Jalen got hit out of bounds. It was like a personal foul. So I guess this past year, this season is the first year that I guess we haven't played the preseason, I think.
Yeah, no, it says it right there if you want to read it in his quote.
Oh, how about that? I was just going off of memory. Should have just been reading.
You guys felt like you guys were shaking off the rust against the Pats a little bit?
I mean, there was definitely a lot of things that
just didn't go as smoothly.
Communication, we had substitution errors. There were a lot of sloppy things, but
that's what week one brings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we were unique to that. I mean, you guys played in the preseason. I would think that you guys would admit that the Chiefs were not up to the standard that you guys hold yourselves to. So
1,000%.
I get it. I think that preseason games can definitely help you prepare. I think that they can also, I mean, it helps everything to go through a game day, communication, get ready, all that stuff. And I think that I'm sure Nick will look back on that, and I mean, it sounds like he already has. So it sounds like they're playing in the preseason next year.
He just reevaluated it, and the guys are going to be playing at least one drive next year, so I can cover my ass on that. Eagles defense. Let's talk some defense. It was reported that Brandon Graham gave an incredible speech, an absolutely incredible speech to the Eagles defense in the team meeting the night before the game. Did you hear the speech?
I did not. No, you think this is only for the defense?
Oh,
so I did not hear it.
His 14th season as an Eagle. Are either of you guys big pregame speech
Longest
givers?
tenured Philadelphia athlete, Brandon Graham.
Yeah,
of all major sports.
That's pretty damn good. Shout out to BG. Are you a big pregame speech guy? Do you give pregame speeches?
I do.
I used to do it every game at University of Cincinnati my senior year. Every game I would get up and just motherfuck everybody into just bleeding onto the field and putting everything out there and just firing everybody up. And then I realized that I was only really doing that for me. So I stopped doing it.
There's some skit, I don't know if it's a Key and Peele skit or somebody is doing it, where they're doing the pregame speeches and then they go like they're the other people around it and nobody's paying attention. Everybody's like, can we finish this up? And I was like, nothing has been more accurately represented. But I do a pregame speech every single game. And I think
it's
sometimes
it's like the breakdown on the field type thing, or is it in the locker room? Everybody's listening to you.
I do it in the locker room. I don't do it out on the field, but I think that it always, a lot of times, is just like kind of like reiterating what Nick's saying, or like sometimes it's like super emotional and like gung ho. Sometimes it's like, hey,